Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So what I've got for you today is just some PvP gameplay in the background of me using a few different builds. And also I'll go ahead and just be talking over the gameplay about how I feel. But before we start, today is my birthday, July 6th. I'm 22 years old. God, I feel old. But besides that, I'm a very, very happy guy right now. I'm just happy to be where I am in life. And I have to thank you guys for supporting or even taking the time to listen to me talk about, stupid stuff on the channel. So I want to thank you all for supporting me in everything that I'm doing right now. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and start with the state of the channel and where I kind of see myself. As I stand right now, I think I'm just under 10 subscribers away from getting to 2,000 subscribers. That is crazy. I've managed to get more traction in less than a year than I've had in like the first year that I made the channel. The first year, it was a very, very, very slow climb. Making different kinds of content, but now that it's past a year now, I've pretty much, once I reached 1,000 in a few months, I've just doubled. I've doubled my subscriber count. So just thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me and being really patient with how slow I'm able to upload. You see, I'm running this ship solo, so that means I got a lot of moving parts I got to take care of. So I want to thank you for being as patient as you are and as receptive as you are. I really do appreciate and love you guys for being so understanding. I'm really appreciative of that. So let's go ahead and talk about the current state of Destiny. I think Destiny is in a lot better of a place than people ever want to admit, because that would mean Bungie did something good, and apparently that's a bad thing that Bungie did something good. Sure, there's all the little bits and pieces that Bungie is trying to work on, but I feel like we shouldn't let them have an excuse that it's hard to make games, because, man, I play BattleBit a lot. I've been playing a lot of BattleBit Remastered. I bought the game, and it is well worth the $15 alone. Hell, I think I'm going to get the supporter edition, because God dang, they deserve as much money and support, because I think it's only 3 guys making the damn game. So seriously, play BattleBit if you want to have a fun PvP experience, solo or with friends, because there's a lot of progression in that game, a lot of progression. But when it pertains to Destiny, I think that there are plenty of valid complaints, like raising the prices of the seasons and having people pick and choose between getting the season pass or spending $80 goddamn dollars. I've spent more money on Destiny with the DLC than I have on any other game. Granted, I measure my money in hours, so every hour is $1 to me. As I stand right now, I have 1,279.8 hours. And God knows I have not spent $1,300 on Destiny 2. Lord, no. But I would not be surprised if the ballpark area was around $200, $300, stretching to $400 mark. And that's something that I would like to address. As2Cross made a great video about the microtransactions and everything you need to even try to enjoy Destiny, which I agree with. Destiny isn't really free to play, it's free to try. That's a very good point. And also, with how much money I spent just on the DLC, that's hundreds of dollars right out. Like, I spent $80 on the deluxe edition of Lightfall because I was convinced Lightfall was going to be better than the Witch Queen. Lord have mercy, was I wrong. If you haven't watched my Lightfall review, go watch it so you can see how I felt about it, because I went pretty in depth on how I felt and the reasonings behind it. The current season of Season of the Deep, I think, is one of the better seasons of the year. Defiance was a bit of a snooze fest, and then they just killed off a character. It really didn't feel like it had very much significance to the character passing away. It didn't feel right. And then we moved on to Season of the Deep, which was a huge tone shift. And it feels like the story is being spread really thin. So as much as I would like to, I would want the game to not be spread thin. I know this is way too much to ask, but I understand why people want a Destiny 3, because I would rather have it be like a standalone story game with like co-op to play through the story, where all the story is compressed together so that it could be a long game, like story-wise, think God of War or something like that. And then you could play through it with all the skills and build crafting that it has, but more of like a co-op like shooter or something like that, so that it's much more of a condensed and story-driven game, because I feel like I'm being given scraps, and let me tell you, those scraps are tasty. I'm a lore nerd. I love reading the lore. I love hearing about these revelations about the Witness and the final shape, everything like that. But Xivu has been teased so much, and she's finally in the limelight damn near 10 years later. Hell, Nezarec has been teased since the game came out with Nezarec's Sin. I don't mind long-standing villains in the background that come to the limelight. That's kind of how story works. When you reach the climax, the villain is finally revealed, which I loved how the Witness turned out. I think the current game, it feels like we're fighting for scraps. It's really hard. We're left to interpret things. And, me, I usually just take it as it is. What am I going to do? Change a whole company's model? They don't even know who I am. I'm just some scrub on the internet that doesn't know anything. I don't even own a super yacht. Can you believe it? A YouTuber, and I don't own a super yacht? Moving on to the community, I would like to address that the community, I think, is being overly harsh, but they're kind of right. Let me explain. The community feels very vicious and very hostile, I think, towards devs, and I think that's the wrong group of people to be mad at. But it also depends on what the hell you're mad at, and trust me, everybody wants to be mad at something. It's just part of human nature to be pissed off, I guess. Whether it's PvP balance, PvP support, then that's a whole group of people that are like, we haven't gotten a map in years, which is true. Then there's other things such as like the raid side of things, where people who only play raids and dungeons, they don't even bother with like the Vanguard playlist and things like that. Those people complain that, back when Divinity drama dropped and it was going nuts and people were just mad at each other, and then people who were just excessively like rude to people who want to use Thunderlord as DPS. Lord have mercy, let people use what they want to use. If you're not doing a master raid, you do not need min-maxed weapon damage. Bro, I use Grand Overture, for crying out loud, and that thing is plenty. Hell, I've out-damaged people doing Izzy Rocket, doing other kinds and methods of damage, just using that silly little machine gun with its rockets. It's a fun weapon that hits like a truck, and I like using it. So you have no excuse, especially if I'm doing more damage than you. Don't come at me with that crap, especially if I do more damage than you. You've got no excuse, especially with all that shit you've been talking. I think we should be a little more friendly, especially to what people use. You don't need things to go perfectly the first time. Lord knows I have dealt with that kind of mindset before. You don't need to do that because it's toxic behavior, and guess what? You're left feeling awful because you didn't do it the first time right. And people are weird. Enjoy yourself. Speaking on the next video, the main video I'm going to be making is going to be a raid video, a raid LFG video. So I hope you guys will enjoy that because it was really, really funny, and we got up to some silly stuff. So I don't want to spoil anything, but it was very funny. So another thing I would like to bring up is that in my life, soon in August, I will be starting more college classes. They will be, Monday and Wednesday, and it'll be 5 more classes. and it will pretty much last from August 28th all the way up to the end of the year. So I don't know how heavy it's going to be, but I doubt it's like a summer term college class where things are super condensed and then there's a test every single week kind of a thing. I don't know how, but I believe it's going to be a little less strenuous. But I am picking up 5 more classes. So I don't know how that'll affect my upload schedule, but we'll just have to wait and see. Make sure you pay attention to my community posts for future updates on that and my upload schedule. So keep an eye out. So I'd like to wrap this up by saying, once again, thank you all for just being the greatest group and most friendly group of the... So to wrap this up, I want to say thank you all for being a nice portion of the Destiny community pie that's not rotten. You guys are a nice small portion of the community that's nice and actually, watch and pay attention and listen and aren't judgy, and you appreciate a good Giga Chad Sherpa. You guys are genuinely making me smile every time you give me a comment and you're laughing and say things like, oh, you deserve way more subs. It just warms my heart. Thank you all for being as kind as you are and as being as accepting as you are, because I've been flip-flopping with my schedule and being inconsistent, but with life getting in the way, you all are understanding because you guys have lives as well. It's just we all come together in this Destiny 2 community to enjoy something together. Thank you all for supporting me and my goofy antics. Thank you all for watching and listening. If you liked what you heard and liked what you saw, please give me a like and subscribe. Please comment down below on how you feel about the Destiny 2 community, about how gameplay is, how things are going in your life. I'd like to just have a conversation with you all. So thank you so much for watching and listening. This is TG. Peace.